Thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm KERDISHA St. Louis. Coming up, government contributes over $113,000 to the National HIV/AIDS Unit, feeder roads to augment agricultural production in GRANDFOND constituency, and the local government contributes to relief efforts in Haiti. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this.
DOWASCO recognizes that clean water is vital to healthy living. Therefore, it spares no effort in providing a clean, safe, and reliable system. Help keep our rivers safe and clean. Do not cut trees along the river banks and do not pollute with garbage, human or animal feces, and chemicals. Think water, think life.
Thanks for staying with us. Coordinator of the National HIV/AIDS Response Unit, Alison Samuel, is expressing thanks to the government of Dominica for their contribution of over $113,000 towards testing efforts. Speaking to GIS News on Tuesday, she stated that this contribution is one that is timely.
From 2010, the national program stopped being a project. Before, it was grossly funded by external funding. From 2010, government took on a lot of the funding that we needed, for example, salaries, program components. And last year in particular, we saw we had a very good boost. We had actually an increase of over $113,000 added to our program budget as recurrent funding, because Dominica had no choice. Global Fund was no longer going to be providing the level of funding that they had been providing before, and particularly for the funding of antiretrovirals, viral load testing, CD4 testing, which we must do for every client who's positive. We had to make a justification case as to why we needed that new spending added to our budget, and that was done. And as of this year, it's going to be a recurrent budget, and we really do. We cannot say thank you enough to the government of Dominica.
The coordinator also called on nationals to ensure that National Testing Day 2017 is as successful as 2016's observance, noting the participation from all 7 healthy districts across the island last year.
At the national program, we had about 4 days of testing just for Regional Testing Day. We also got quite a bit of support from Scotiabank. They contributed financially, and they were also there physically on testing days, assisting with registration. So, it was really. And then also the theme song, Are You Positive, Are You Negative? I mean, practically everybody was singing it. We would walk by and somebody would be singing the song. So I think that kind of all of those factors pushed people to come out and get testing. Our theme last year was also Stop Ducking It. That was also kind of catchy, so people thought, okay, so what am I ducking? And we were able to discuss how people felt about testing, the fears that they had, and we were trying to allay their fears and really encourage them to come out. And we also did close the testing with some of the key populations, so we were able to do groups like the MSMs and the sex workers. We did that as closed testing, on evenings or at certain sites, so that assisted in our numbers, and it was really quite successful.
She shared plans for this year's observance.
Because we work with Dr. Leacock's team, we have been able to reach out to the district so far. They have all indicated that they are having their district planning meetings between end of last week to this week. So they will get back to us by early next week. So we'll be able to know exactly what is planned, because what we do, we go out and we provide support to them and we plan with them. So we have not yet decided on the theme that we will use for the year. I kind of playing with some ideas, but once it gets a little closer, we will fine-tune all of that, and then what we do is we put a schedule together so we know exactly what days in the month, because we normally do a month of activities.
In other news, members of the local government department through the Ministry of Social Services have come together to lend support to the continued relief efforts for Haiti following the destruction of Hurricane Matthew on October 4th last year. Hurricane Matthew, one of the deadliest hurricanes to hit the Caribbean in the last decade, caused widespread damage to Haiti, claiming over 500 lives, destroying over 200,000 homes and leaving thousands homeless, affecting approximately 1.1 million people in the country. After passage of Matthew, the Honorable Prime Minister of Dominica and the then Chairman of the Caribbean Community, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, visited Haiti. The Prime Minister shortly after announced that Dominica would commit US $100,000 to assist the relief efforts. Following the passage of Hurricane Matthew, several Dominican-based organizations and businesses made relief donations to Haiti. Speaking at an inauguration ceremony recently, the representative of the local government department, Steve Joseph, said all local authorities were encouraged to play a part in contributing to the relief efforts, regardless of how small contributions seemed. He revealed the sum collected.
On hearing of the impact of Hurricane Matthew on Haiti last year, took the initiative to encourage all local authorities in Dominica to make a small contribution. And staff of the local government department also contributed, small as it were, but we were able to gather a sum. I have the honor of reporting that we collected $3,386 that we'll present to the Acting National Disaster Coordinator to support the Haiti rebuilding effort.
Proxy recipient of the relief donation, National Disaster Coordinator Fitzroy Pascal, described the gesture as a heartening one. He considers the donation a good example of participation in the national framework which seeks to build regional collaboration.
I am honored here today to be invited to accept this contribution towards the Haiti's recovery efforts for the impacts of Hurricane Matthew last October. Dominica is quite familiar with the effects of storms and hurricanes and can therefore easily identify with Haiti's situation. It is a very heartening demonstration here today to see communities reaching out to each other. Indeed, this is a good example of community participating in the national framework that seeks to build regional collaboration and to help other countries in their recovery and rebuilding efforts. The contribution is much appreciated and will certainly help to expedite recovery work and rebuilding in Haiti.
The Honorable Minister for Social Services, Lady Catherine Daniel, made the presentation on behalf of the local government department through the Ministry of Social Services to the Office of Disaster Preparedness. In more news, Honorable Minister for Tourism, Senator Robert Tong, has revealed that his ministry has put in place several initiatives to develop key areas within the tourism sector. Speaking at a Discover Dominica Authority press conference last week, he stated that this is all in an effort to help enhance Dominica's cruise sector.
It takes 2 years to get the cruise ships to add you back to their itinerary. What we've been doing is to look at as many of the areas that we are weak in, and we came up with 16 of those areas. So we have initiatives to address all of those, so that every time the cruise ship comes back in, we're trying to make sure we get better scores. So as I mentioned before, the cleanliness of the city was one, so we should get much better scores with regard to that. The security, making sure we have the security force in place, making sure that the taxi drivers, all the frontline people are trained, making sure that we upgrade the site. So there are a lot of initiatives that we're putting in place, and we're beginning to see an improvement with that.
CEO of the Dominica Air and Seaports Authority, Benoit Badwil, echoed similar sentiments, noting that government has placed a special emphasis on improving areas that Dominica has scored high on in visitor reviews to increase visitor arrivals.
We have been surveyed along with the other 35 countries within the region that the ships go to, and we have been looking at the various scores that we received, and we have been doing a lot of work in terms of trying to improve on the various areas where we think we have scored very low. And we've also looked at our strengths in terms of the tours that go out with the tour guides. This has come 8 out of 35 in terms of the scores. And we felt that because that was a very strong area, that even the private tours, we also encourage that those private tours go out with a tour guide, because the experience is different. It's a lot stronger in terms of the experience going out with a tour guide. So it is based on those things, and obviously we've looked at what we call the priority sites. The minister indicated, based on discussions, that we're going to increase the priority sites so that those persons going on these organized tours are not hampered in any way by people who privately on the streets pick up a tourist and decide to go to some of the sites.
He commented that the cruise lines, including Carnival Cruise Lines, which removed Dominica from its itinerary several years ago, have been taking notice of the improvements to the island sites.
The message have gone back to Carnival in terms of what opportunity there is. And based on that opportunity, I think they are rethinking on Dominica, because obviously it's an economic decision that has to be made. They wouldn't come just for coming's sake. It has to be that they have to be, it's a two-way street, they have to be making money. And so we are giving them the opportunity to increase their tour revenue whilst they're in Dominica, and at the same time, based on the experience that other guests are receiving when they're here. Obviously the stories going out on TripAdvisor or whatever that they make the comments on. And so Carnival is not deaf or blind in terms of the videos that they're seeing and the improvements that they're hearing of in Dominica. And so they, like any other business concern, is seeking to take advantage of that opportunity.
He revealed that during the next cruise season, Carnival Cruise Lines will be back in Dominica.
I am happy to report that come this summer, we will see Carnival Cruise Lines making at least 4 calls for this summer. And that's just a start. We have also continuing discussions to have an improved picture in terms of the calls for the next season. And that we hope to confirm after we come from the next cruise conference that we're going in the next couple of days. In Miami, we'll be having meetings with them again. And I'm sure when the minister returns, there will be a report in terms of the next schedule for Carnival Cruise Lines, which will be much improved compared to the 1 or 2 calls that we have been getting of late. And so it is in fact a very healthy discussion that we are having, and we're hoping that that can be confirmed when we return.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
I've been in the business for over 16 years. I get up in the mornings and I look forward to having the next cruise ship berth on island. When the visitor steps off the ship, the first impression is me, and I believe that I need to put my best foot forward and to ensure that everything I do it to the best of my ability. Based on my recommendation, visitors go to various sites, restaurants, bars and vendors. I take that responsibility very seriously. I would like that the guest receives the same service that I have provided to that individual or guest. This business is bigger than me. Everybody plays a role. The cleaner who cleans my bus, my mechanic who does my checks, those persons ensure that I provide a quality service to the guest. The tourism dollar doesn't just stop with me. It allows me to pay the bank, visit the supermarket to feed myself and family, and have a drink with friends. My name is Jenna Gist, and tourism is my business.
Welcome back. The Honourable Member of Parliament for the GRANDFOND constituency, Ivor Stevenson, has revealed that the improvement of feeder roads in his constituency will allow farmers to better access their farms. Honourable Stevenson said that this road rehabilitation project will increase agricultural production. The Honourable MP was addressing constituents at a town hall meeting in Rivière-Syriac on Monday.
Presently, we are seeing the rehabilitation of one of our major agricultural farm access roads, that is from Montfregat to Kiddu back in the Foyal, and that is being funded under the EU BAM project. We expect upon completion that all farmers who have holdings in these areas will now take their cutlasses, will take their hoes, their axe, their sprayers, and begin to cultivate the lands that are up there.
Honorable Stevenson encouraged farmers to make a good use of the land through farming to bring greater economic benefits to the GRANDFOND constituency.
We have seen the development of this road, and as a result, let us make maximum use of ensuring that we go up there and cultivate the lands, plant the lands, because our economy here in this constituency, in this community, it is about agriculture. That's how we make our money. We talk about diversification. We may not necessarily have to plant the bananas, but then there are several other crops that we can plant and earn the necessary income so we can see the improvement of our economy, especially in River Sud.
The Honorable Minister gave constituents the reassurance that government will continue to provide the necessary assistance needed to farmers. He says government has made fertilizer available at a reduced price to farmers.
We will go further in terms of agricultural development. We will continue to ensure that our farmers get the necessary inputs. As a matter of fact, the Minister of Agriculture has informed myself that they have received a supply of fertilizer from Morocco, and that will be soon made available to farmers. But not only is this supply of fertilizer available, but even in La Plaine at the Agricultural Training Center, fertilizer is also being sold to farmers at a very, very subsidized price. So the issue is not about fertilizer cost. It is not a situation whereby you have to buy the commercial price in Roseau for $70. It is now being sold at La Plaine, is it about $55, Betty? 35, right. Very, very, very subsidized price. So, yes, we have fertilizer, we have good farm access roads. So what should be the problem? The problem right now is the matter of we putting more time into our farms.
And finally, this News Time Director of Agriculture, Ricky Bromant, is commending the efforts of the University of Trinidad and Tobago Eastern Caribbean Institute of Agriculture and Forestry, NCAF, in providing Caribbean nationals with the skills to develop the agriculture sector. He was speaking at the opening ceremony of a 90-day agricultural tour in Dominica on Monday.
We cannot underscore the importance of AKF and now UTT in ensuring that this gap is filled to provide the right skills for development of agriculture in the sector. A time when we have fewer farmers, a time when we have farmers that are growing in age, and a time when agriculture seems not to be so attractive to our children and our students, AKF and UTT continue to provide the opportunity for students to fill in that gap for very important human skills in the region.
He stated that these skills are critical as the need for food is one that is ever present.
But in truth and in fact, the agricultural sector will demand a lot more skills and a lot more professionals than probably any other sectors. The need for food is vitally important. Without farms, of course, we will starve. Without farmers, we will starve. And without farmers, we can do nothing else because we would all be dead. So AKF continues to provide that important opportunity for students, provide that opportunity for our students here in Dominica as well. I can well imagine the partnership between the Dominica State College and UTT, the Dominica State College and AKF, in providing that a venue for students to continue their service, their studies at the first degree level. And so we in Dominica continue to depend on institutions like AKF, continue to depend on institutions like UTT to provide us with that much needed place that our students can find to study, especially in the field of agriculture.
Before we go, here are a few announcements. The Cultural Division, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, presents the National Schools Arts Festival at the Arawak House of Culture from March 22nd to March 28th, 2017. Come see artistic presentations by primary and secondary schools from 9 a.m. each day. The Division of Agriculture wishes to advise farmers and others that the price of white potato seeds have been reduced from $80 to $55 per bag. TSP will be provided for any quantity purchased. Do take advantage of this opportunity immediately as quantities are limited. And the Ministry of Trade, in partnership with the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, NTRC, is celebrating World Consumer Rights Day on Wednesday, March 15, 2007, under the theme, Building a Digital World Consumers Can Trust. The day will be observed with a number of activities, including a discussion on child online protection on DBS and Carrier FM from 9 a.m. and a panel discussion on cybersecurity right here on GIS from 7 p.m. Listeners and viewers are encouraged to interact with the panelists by sending their comments and questions via text or WhatsApp to 275-1503 or 613-0220 on Facebook at NTRC Dominica or Twitter at NTRC_Dominica. And that's all for the English news. Shakira Pierre is up next with Creole Highlights.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel créole, non, moi c'est Shakira Pierre. 19 étudiants et puis des administrateurs de l'Université Trinidad et puis Tobago Institute Eastern Caraïbes là pour agriculture et puis foresterie vini Dominique pour yon tour étude. Tour ça là c'est en collaboration et puis ministre agriculture Dominique. Pendant course là, ces étudiants là qui participent à activités quand yon visite à ministre agriculture, division foresterie et puis pêche. Ces étudiants-là qui aussi visité station agriculture et puis planté au pays là. Permanent secrétaire ministre agriculture Harold Gis, le gouvernement qui a investi millions en agriculture. À d'autres nouvelles, ministre qui a gardé une loi pour gouverner protection consumer. Ministre lancé semaine consumer awareness semaine passée. Directeur trade Marfan Walter expliqué plus contre loi ça là.
En longtemps, tu m'as même nous avons parlé contre un bill, une loi pour consumer protection. Mais en l'année qui passée, nous tapons l'argent pour nous payer un monde qui s'est gardé la loi là pour nous et dit nous ça nous pour faire pour finaliser loi ça là. Monde la fait ça il pour faire il voyait drafting instructions pour nous. Avec ça, nous qui fait c'est pour voyer formally pour Ministry Justice ou là c'est mon là en unit là qui amend enact loi yo qui fait ça unit pour faire pour nous ça taper un final bill pour nous mettre devant cabinet mois mai 2017.
Walter dit loi ça là qui fait consumer connaître raison ayo.
Bill Sala qui parle pour loi qui rights qui consumers ni qui parle pour bagay contre refund qui ni en commission qui mette en place et commission Sala qui part time mais yo qui garder compte affaires consumers moun qui ka gagner en good ou yo ka servi en service si on a un problème yo qui many problème ça là pour commission là et yo qui fait manœuvre ka servi loi là pour yo taper en solution pour lui. So c'est bagay ça là qui a ces bill là est très important parce que en l'autre passé nous ka vivre dans un pays qui pas ni pièce loi pour protéger moun health moun santé moun là yo gagner en bagay ou yo pour en service là il pas ni loi n'importe bagay ça fait mais les moun savent il y a en loi et une penalty c'est un lot différent bagay.
Et puis finalement, membre parlement pour GRANDFOND Honorable Ivor Stevenson dit réhabilitation chemin jardin qui fait accès plus facile à planter whole constituency GRANDFOND. Honorable Stevenson dit aussi ça qui aussi augmente la production agricole. Honorable Stevenson s'est adressé constituents pendant une mission à Rivière-Syrique lundi semaine sala. Membre parlement là encouragé planter pour servir opportunité sala pour mener l'argent à constituency là. Il aussi assuré planter qui gouvernement qui toujours aide yo et puis ba yo assistance là pour jardin à yo. Ça c'est tout pour nouvelle créole. Non moi c'est Shakira Pierre. Au revoir.
A home remedy to combat itchy skin, coming up next in today's tip. To combat itch in the absence of calamine lotion, baking soda and water has proven to do the trick. Mix 1 part baking soda with 1 part water and apply as a paste. The relief is almost instant and it lasts until your next bath. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/gisnewsdominica, and follow our Twitter at gisdominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I'm KERDISHA. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.